Hey everybody, this is Quinn.
I'm Brian.
And we are RunLeadGen, and this is our new podcast, RunLeadGen Radio. And really, we are new to the podcast space, but what we're really excited about is sharing our experience in digital marketing and especially SEO with you. So bear with us. Have a little bit of patience with us. We are definitely new to the production space, but we hope that we can come to the table with a really great conversational podcast about the cutting edge of the SEO and digital marketing world. So with that, this first episode, we want to focus on some of the most frequent questions that we hear, especially now in 2024, about SEO and digital marketing. We are doing this every single day on hundreds of websites across many different industries and sizes. And so we've got a lot of experience to share with you. And so we hope that we can come across as, just us talking like we do every day anyway, and share some of that insight with you guys.
Well, let's really quick do an introduction and introduce ourselves. So I'm Brian. I've been doing SEO and web development for 20 years. And so this is something I live and breathe every day, and I immerse myself in it regularly because I just love it. And so hopefully I get to share some of that passion with all of you.
Yeah, unlike Brian, I do not have 20 years of experience. I do have about 10 years myself. I've had the opportunity to be in a variety of different spaces. I've worked in a super affiliate type role. I had my hands on some pretty large sites. And then I've more recently got into the agency space and seeing a lot more of those smaller businesses. So we've got, between the two of us, a ton of experience across industries and business sizes. And with that, we want to talk a little bit about a question that's come up. Actually, it's come up over the course of the many years that we've been involved with SEO, but per usual, it kind of resurfaces. And recently, I was at the Mountain America Expo Center at a trade show talking with somebody who had a great product. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, gosh, I don't know why I've never heard of this. Are you guys doing any marketing? And the response I got was, yeah, we've got some Facebook ads going, but that's about it. And I said, well, do you guys have a website? Are you doing any SEO? And he responded, and I thought it was a joke, but he responded with the question, well, isn't SEO dead? And I looked at him and I'm saying, I've got a lot of opinion here to share with you, and we don't have the time. And so we wanted to open that up for really the first question, or frequent question that we feel in 2024 is poignant to talk about. Is SEO dead? So with that, Brian, what would you say to a new business owner who's looking to do some marketing and considering SEO? Is SEO dead?
Well, it actually came up on a client call today, literally right before we came to jump on and record this podcast. So the question of SEO is dead has come up, and we went and actually looked before recording, and it started, the first prediction of SEO dying was clear back in 1997. The article I was reading was published in 2009, and here we are in 2024 with constant improvements on search and SEO being as powerful as ever.
Yeah, I think something that continually comes up for me is, we know that search engines are a thing because the internet is a thing. The web exists because there are, millions, hundreds of millions of websites out there. And all they are just connections of computers and databases of code. And so search engines exist because we got to find that code. We got to find those websites. And so I would suggest that as long as websites are a monetizable asset, something that businesses can use to make money, then you will need to be able to find websites. So I would guess that while SEO is always changing, and certainly more now than ever, that the quick answer to is SEO dead, even in 2024, is a real easy and swift no.
Yeah, the topics that got brought up today about why they thought SEO might be dying or dead were AI, new assistive devices, other channels like TikTok, but it's still a resounding no. We see search market share actually gaining traction, and some of that people are feeling is going to start to lean in towards generative AI. Right now, the Google Labs search generative experience, in my opinion, is still lackluster. And so it's going to be a while before we see AI even take a chunk out of search market share, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that actually brings us to our next common question, which is, I'm a new business owner. How do I do SEO? Do I spend my time, effort, and money today as a relatively new business owner on SEO? And how do I do that?
Yeah, starting a new business is tough. It's very time intensive, and knowing where to spend those resources is paramount to your success. If you go and start digging into the Search Essentials guides from Google and getting some of these basic tools set up, there's definitely an opportunity to start getting some exposure on search, but you're going to want to focus on your business and creating content around what you're passionate about with your business.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. When somebody says, gosh, how do I do SEO? Can I do SEO? Should I be doing SEO? The first thing that comes to my mind is, well, in today's world, you can pretty much learn to do anything. When starting a new business, you're going to have a lot of things to do and learn. So what we would say from the agency owner perspective is, yeah, you could do SEO, but is it the best use of your time? Ultimately, there are videos out there. We're putting them out, right, on very simple things that you can do for quick wins. Absolutely should dive into some of that and start some of those up. But I would say, generally speaking, leave SEO to the SEOs and do the thing that you do, with the caveat that there are probably a handful of quick wins that you could grab.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that, and we've discussed this with all of our clients, is whenever you're creating content, whatever you're doing for your business, you are in some form of a way doing SEO. So it's important to have things planned out well and do a good job on everything that you produce.
That's a great point. Anytime you touch your website, anytime you open up Google Business Profile, or even the plans that you're making as far as the services that you're going to offer and where you're going to offer them, they play into your SEO landscape and strategy. So yeah, absolutely be purposeful, be planned, right? Okay, so that actually brings us to the next question that we think is pretty common in 2024, and that is, should I be doing SEO in place of other marketing channels, or where does that priority set as far as SEO in the whole of marketing?
Yeah, that's a question that is very reasonable. And I think when business owners are planning out their marketing budget, there's only so many resources to go around, especially for startups. And so I completely understand why we get this question. And SEO is foundational. So in our opinion, you absolutely want to be doing SEO. However, depending on where you're at with your business and where your potential customers are in their awareness, it may or may not be the easiest channel to get started in.
Yeah, I think something that we often say when we talk about SEO in the realm of the marketing whole is every marketing channel comes to the table with strengths and weaknesses. Different levels of quality, different areas in your conversion funnel, in the intent funnel, right? Whether or not people are more ready to buy or looking for information. And that's not only in SEO, but across those marketing channels. When Brian says SEO is foundational, it's fundamental because it is the only channel to date that is exponential. There's no ad spend. The money you spend hiring either in-house or agencies, that's it. There's no other spend. So your return on your investment can only grow as you increase your organic presence, and then of course more and more people buy from that channel. So we would say SEO probably is at the foundation of your marketing strategy if you're doing things right, and then you can supplement that with some of those quick wins, like paid ads that have other strengths, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Brian, you've been in SEO for a long time, 20 plus years. That's a long time to see how things are changing over the course of time in SEO. there's been a lot of changes, a lot of algorithmic changes. A common question that we get is, what are some of those recent massive changes that are setting the foundation of the landscape today? What do we need to be considering in 2024 per SEO changes?
Yeah, that is a really important question right now. With the helpful content system and the ongoing updates we've seen from the helpful content system, I saw some data this morning that only 3% of sites that have been hit by the helpful content update have recovered at this point from the initial rollout. So really impacted a lot of businesses and a lot of websites negatively for having content that just wasn't up to snuff.
Yeah, I think we could really open this up wide. There's a lot to talk about as far as algorithmic changes and what sets the landscape in 2024. The helpful content system and its constant updates are certainly at the top of that. If you're considering Google's kind of overarching plan, right, especially now with AI entering into the scene and we see more and more AI content, Google has to understand the quality of content and has to put it in front of people per the intent of the query. So we see a lot of natural language processing things going on. There was the BERT recent, and then of course being able to span the wider internet and understand that new content and serve up the quality.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of really big updates, especially back in 2023 as it related to link spam, review spam. And as the web has grown with AI content, as you mentioned, some of those spammier marketers have really opened the floodgates. And so we can see why some of those review updates and link spam updates are important, but they sometimes catch up with people that maybe have not been spamming, but just start riding that fine line on quality.
Yeah, perfect. So that kind of brings us a pretty good segue into the next question that we often get, and that is, all right, so then what role do backlinks and content play in 2024? Do they have a role? What role do they play?
Absolutely. This is a pretty contentious topic in the SEO community. There are a lot of SEOs, a lot of them that I've worked with in the somewhat recent past that feel like the value of links just isn't there and isn't worth the effort. We have seen links play a critical role in the ranking algorithms and how campaigns perform since the beginning, and it's still pivotal today.
Yeah, I think, like Brian said, there is a lot of debate in the SEO world, as is any industry. What we bring to the table is we're on the front lines. We're doing it. So to say that when we get a really great backlink and then not see that will have impact on organic results would be a lie. We absolutely see correlation to the backlinks that we're still receiving and still building and organic performance. That's a pretty quick, easy answer there.
Yeah, I think a lot of marketers have experience with backlink guys on Fiverr and backlinks from really low quality, almost no quality websites. And the reason they feel backlinks aren't impactful is because the way they're building them, they aren't. But if you're building links with sites that are ranking well in Google, you're going to get some value there.
Great. And I think something that should be mentioned, most SEOs, most digital marketers would still agree that SEO is comprised of three major pillars: on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO. I think that's still widely held, recognizable among everybody in the industry, that's what it takes to get your site showing up in the search engine results. On-page SEO being the content on a given page, the keywords, the term frequency, the metadata itself, right? The comprehensiveness of a topic. off page being that editorial vote, right? The other people on the internet who have editorial votes to them are passing that along to you, saying that you're legitimately who you are, you have authority, you have trust, you have expertise and experience. And then, of course, technical SEO, you've got to have the components to the site for performance, site speed, internal infrastructure. Those we would still agree. And not only have a role in 2024, but are primary to your SEO performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add a quick point on the technical foundations, Quinn and I love technical SEO. That's where we really thrive. And one tip that I would give to anyone that's getting into SEO, the bigger your site is, the more crucial that technical SEO is going to play a role for Google crawling your site and how well it performs. So,
yeah, the size, and also I would say the time with which it's been live. Obviously, the longer a site's been up, the more problems that can have arisen.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got a couple last questions that are frequent in 2024. This next one is about mobile friendliness. We get a lot of business owners coming up to us and saying, how do I ensure that my site is optimized to be mobile friendly? What would you say to them, Ryan?
That is a really confusing topic for a lot of people right now, since Google got rid of the mobile friendly testing tool. They got rid of the mobile friendly data inside of Google Search Console, but still remains a mobile first index. And right now, Google is pointing people to Lighthouse, that's inside of the Chrome developer tools, is the easiest place to check and see how your site is performing on mobile. We have the URL inspector tool inside of Search Console where you can use the previews to make sure things are displaying correctly, but nothing really beats real world user testing.
Yeah, I think mobile friendliness is one of those hot terms we hear often. They kind of come and go. What's funny to me, when people say, how do I optimize or how do I ensure my site is mobile friendly? I kind of laugh because in today's world, most, if not a majority of the users that we're seeing hit websites are coming from mobile. So we ought to really start changing the narrative here from mobile friendliness to really that concept of mobile first, right? We should be thinking, is our site desktop friendly? And I think the reason why that won't happen is because we build, typically we build websites on desktop, so we don't think mobile first, but we ought to, because that's what people are experiencing our sites from. So yeah, I would say mobile friendliness is absolutely something we should be at the forefront of our minds because of the mobile first index. Google is crawling, indexing, and looking at sites from the mobile perspective primarily because that's what users are doing primarily.
Absolutely. We actually saw Google complete the migration to the mobile first index last year, and that was a long ongoing project that took several years. So it's absolutely important. That's the direction things are going. We see new assistive devices coming out that is going to only increase that importance.
All right, so for our last word, Brian, can you just give us some thoughts on 2024 SEO, digital marketing? Wrap us up here.
Yeah, I would say the current state of SEO is AI is bringing a lot of great speed to development for writers, and that's having a great and a terrible impact on SEO. For those that are just getting into GA4, you're going to feel a whole world of frustration, and welcome to the club. We are starting to love GA4, but that's a very nuanced topic, maybe left for another day. But SEO has to become part of your multi-channel marketing approach in 2024. So hopefully this podcast can help be a useful resource for everyone that is taking that journey.
Yeah, well said. Ultimately, we hope that this episode has been insightful. Our goal is not only to have fun with this. This is fun for us to talk about the things that we feel nerdy about, right? And the things that we feel that we are proficient and professional with. And so this is fun, but we also want it to be actionable. We want these conversations to elicit opportunities for you guys to work on with your sites or in your own career development. So we ask you to go ahead and like and subscribe. Stay up on the latest with all things SEO and digital marketing, because we've got a lot to share with you and we're really excited about it. We are RunLeadGen. This is RunLeadGen Radio, and we'll see you next time.